The Mysterious Graveyard. Chapter 1. As Laura wandered through the school corridors, she overheard a friend enthusiastically recounting a graveyard tale. They say there's a demonic dance that takes place at midnight in the graveyard, her friend said. Laura laughed heartily, but deep down, fear gripped her. One weekend, her friends decided to visit the graveyard at midnight to verify the tale. Initially, Laura refused to join, but the peer pressure became too much, and she reluctantly agreed. At midnight, the four friends passed through the iron gate of the graveyard. The pale light of the moon illuminated the tombstones, and the leaves crunched underfoot with every step they took. While her friends moved with excitement, Laura was filled with dread, and she reluctantly agreed. At midnight, the four friends passed through the iron gate of the graveyard. The pale light of the moon illuminated the tombstones, and the leaves crunched underfoot with every step they took. While her friends moved with excitement, Laura was filled with dread. She took a deep breath and scanned her surroundings. Suddenly, she spotted a silhouette with glowing red eyes near an old grave in the distance. Her friends remained oblivious. She tried to warn them, but her voice failed her. The silhouette approached slowly as her friends danced around, touching the gravestones. Laura tried to shout a warning again, but her voice was silent. As the silhouette moved behind her, she felt a cold breath on her neck. Suddenly, screams and whispers echoed from the tombstones. Laura's friends lay motionless on the ground, eyes closed. The silhouette turned towards Laura, its gaze cold and menacing. "Your turn," it whispered with an eerie tone. Laura's heart raced. Her breathing became shallow. Darkness clouded her vision, and she felt herself losing consciousness. Summoning her last ounce of strength, she ran, leaving her friends behind. When she reached the gate of the graveyard, she heard footsteps closing in from behind. As she hastily opened the gate and stepped out, she looked back to see the silhouette grinning menacingly at her. From that night on, Laura steered clear of graveyard tales and kept her distance from her friends. However, the haunting memories of that terrifying night and the fate of her friends never left her. Chapter 2. The curse's shadow months had passed since that fateful night. Yet the chilling memories of the graveyard still haunted Laura's dreams. The once lively school corridors now seemed eerie to her, filled with whispers of that dreadful night. One evening, as Laura was leaving the school library, she found an old book tucked away in a dusty corner. Its title read, "The Curse of the Midnight Graveyard." Curiosity overcoming her apprehension, she opened the book to discover tales of souls trapped in the graveyard, seeking revenge on the living. The book spoke of a ritual that could break the curse, a ritual that needed to be performed by someone pure of heart, someone who had witnessed the curse's power firsthand. Laura realized that she was that chosen one, determined to free the tormented souls and rid herself of the curse's shadow. Laura began researching the ritual. Late nights were spent deciphering ancient texts and gathering the required ingredients. Finally, the night arrived. Armed with the knowledge she had acquired and the ingredients in hand, Laura returned to the graveyard. The moon hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the tombstones. She began the ritual, chanting the ancient words as she sprinkled the ingredients around the graveyard. The air grew colder, and a faint glow emanated from the graves. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble, and a thick fog enveloped the graveyard. Laura felt a presence surround her, but this time, it was different, less menacing and more hopeful. As the fog lifted, she saw the souls of the cursed, now free from their torment, ascending towards the heavens. The silhouette from that dreadful night appeared before her one last time, its eyes no longer filled with malice but gratitude. "You have freed us," it whispered softly. "The curse is broken." With a final nod, the silhouette vanished, leaving Laura standing alone in the now peaceful graveyard. As she walked away, she felt a weight lift off her shoulders, knowing she had finally put the curse to rest.